To Bhaswati Mukherjee, a former Indian diplomat. I asked her about India's priorities as it chairs this year's meeting.
The BRICS was set up as a grouping which would bring together leaders and countries with common perspectives, but sometimes different approaches to issues relating to both international peace and security, as well as economic issues and other issues. India's priorities have always been to try to forge a common ground between such important countries on both political and economic issues. And for this particular summit, the reform of the multilateral system, for instance, cooperating on counter-terrorism, discussing Afghanistan, and looking at how to manage the pandemic as hopefully it transforms itself from a pandemic to an epidemic, so that we learn to live with it without it disrupting our normal life, the global economic situation, hospitality sector, tourism, etc. So all these are issues which are high on India's agenda, and these are issues which are of common concern to the BRIC leaders. Some may have different perspectives. Indeed, some do, particularly on Afghanistan. But it gives us excellent opportunity to see where common ground can be found.
Well, as you say, the members having different perspectives on Afghanistan, but that situation obviously on the agenda. Do you think members are going to be able to find common ground on that?
You can well imagine that one of the issues high on the agenda was to share views on what's happening in Afghanistan. The Russians actually have voiced concerns which are quite similar to us in the bilateral meetings we've had, because the Russians are quite nervous of terrorists getting exported from Afghanistan through refugee flows into Central Asia and then on to Russia. So again, these are issues that India would discuss and would reach out particularly to China in the hope that the Chinese would be able to also see the issue from our perspective. Nothing is impossible in a summit of this kind, which is a closed-door affair and where the leaders can talk frankly with each other on what is troubling them. And Afghanistan naturally is very high on the agenda.
And also on the agenda, as you mentioned, the pandemic. India was hit badly, of course, as were some of the other BRICS nations. How do you think they might collaborate on tackling COVID going forward?
Well, I think the entire world, including the United Kingdom, was hit by the pandemic. We were hit particularly badly in the second wave because of this Delta variant which came and which caused havoc because of the huge population we have and the special requirements for oxygen. I understand now the main priority, particularly in Africa, is to make vaccines available. We would be in a position to be able to export vaccines only after December, when we hope that at least 85% of our huge population would have been vaccinated. That is of great importance to Africa. South Africa is on the table, and that would be, I presume, of great importance also to Britain.